Bible tells us that if we seek, we will find. That is, if you're looking for God, you'll find Him if you keep looking, if you're praying. The problem is, in this day and age, if somebody's looking for God and they go to a church like this one behind me, which has a rainbow flag on the front of it, chances are you're going to find something other than the God of the Bible. So, trusting Jesus is not quite so simple these days. When you got the Jesus of Islam, you got the Jesus of the Mormons, you got the Jesus of the Watchtower, all of which are different than the Jesus of the Bible. So that's why we put a sign on the back of our truck to challenge people, get them to thinking. Because if you just go to a church, or if you're searching on your own, chances are you're going to get pretty confused. The Jesus of the rainbow cult is a different Jesus as well. When I think back 40 some odd years ago, when my wife and I were living in Alaska and we began to seek, looking for God, we didn't really know where to look. We were half afraid of a lot of the churches because we just thought they were phony and full of hypocrites, like a lot of unbelievers think. And I was working for a guy who gave me a series of cassette tapes, Bible tapes, and they were really good. Strangely enough, about that time, who shows up at our door? The Jehovah's Witnesses. And then it is long before a couple Mormon missionaries show up. And it was obvious what was going on now that I look back at it, but at the time I just thought, this is kind of interesting. Now, I knew enough to know that the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses had some issues, but I didn't know what they were. And I knew that they were a relatively new religion, dreamed up by some guys in America. So I knew enough to be cautious and to not really open up to them. But at the same time, I didn't have answers, and I didn't really know what kind of questions to ask. So that's where a lot of people are today. They're looking for the truth, but they don't know where to go. And even as a believer, here I've been a believer for well over 40 years, and a lot of churches that I've gone to, it doesn't take but going there 2 or 3 services, and you find out that they've got some weaknesses, and we can disagree about peripheral issues, but as far as the cardinal doctrines of Christianity, such as the virgin birth, the blood atonement, Jesus dying on the cross, his deity, things like that, those are very important. So when you run into religions that deviate on some of those core issues, those are the ones to stay away from.